listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello everyone, welcome to day 142. What if you received a package you weren't expecting, and you open it up, and it's a raw piece of meat, and you read the note saying, "Hey, this is Saul. Join me to fight the Ammonites." Or this piece of meat is what will become of your ox. Maybe that note would persuade you to go fight with Saul. The only problem is he wants to go fight the Ammonites. And they got this thing about taking out the right eye of everyone they come against. So this is the tone in 1 Samuel chapters 10 through 12. So it's one thing for Samuel to anoint Saul as king, making it official. But another is gaining the loyalty and authority needed behind that crown. And we're also continuing in the book of John. Jesus reaffirms that he is from God and that everything he says comes from God. And then he goes to wash the feet of his followers. This is normally the work of a servant. So at first, Simon Peter doesn't want Jesus to wash his feet for him, but then Jesus explains why he's doing it. And now things begin to make sense, even for Simon Peter. If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verses 9 through 27. Saul becomes like the prophets. As soon as Saul turned to leave Samuel, God changed Saul's heart. All these things happened that same day. When Saul and his servant came to Gibeath Elohim, Saul met a group of prophets. God's Spirit came on Saul with great power, and Saul prophesied with the prophets. Some of the people who had known Saul before saw him prophesying with the prophets, so they asked each other,
"What has happened to Kish's son? Is Saul also one of the prophets?"
A man living in Gibeath Elohim said, "Yes, and it seems that he is their leader." That is why this became a famous saying. Is Saul also one of the prophets? After Saul finished prophesying, he went to the place of worship. Saul's uncle asked Saul and his servant, "Where have you been?" Saul said,
"We were looking for the donkeys. When we couldn't find them, we went to see Samuel."
Saul's uncle said,
"Please tell me, what did Samuel say to you?"
Saul answered,
"Samuel told us the donkeys were already found."
He did not tell his uncle everything. Saul did not tell him what Samuel had said about the kingdom. Samuel told all the Israelites to meet together with the Lord at Mizpah. Samuel told them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says.
I led Israel out of Egypt. I saved you from Egypt's control and from the other kingdoms that tried to hurt you."
Samuel continued, "But today you have rejected your God. Your God saves you from all your troubles and problems. But you said, 'No, we want a king to rule us.' Now come, stand before the Lord in your family groups and tribes." Samuel brought all the tribes of Israel near to him. Then he began to choose the new king. First, the tribe of Benjamin was chosen. Samuel told each family in the tribe of Benjamin to pass by. Matri's family was chosen. Then Samuel told each man in Matri's family to walk by. Saul, son of Kish, was chosen. But when the people looked for Saul, they could not find him. Then they asked the Lord.
"Has Saul come here yet?"
The Lord said,
"He is hiding behind the supplies."
So the people ran and took Saul out from behind the supplies. When Saul stood up among the people, he was a head taller than anyone else. Samuel said to all the people, "See the man the Lord has chosen. There's no one like Saul among the people." Then the people shouted, "Long live the king!" Samuel explained the rules of the kingdom to the people. He wrote the rules in a book and put the book before the Lord. Then Samuel told the people to go home. Saul also went to his home in Gibeah. God caused a group of brave men to join Saul. But some troublemakers said,
How can this man save us?
They said bad things about Saul and refused to bring gifts to him. But Saul said nothing. King Nahash of the Ammonites had been doing terrible things to the Israelite tribes of Gad and Reuben. Nahash poked out the right eye of each of the men and did not allow anyone to help them. He poked out the right eye of every Israelite man still living in the area east of the Jordan River. But 7,000 Israelite men had escaped from the Ammonites and had come to Jabesh Gilead. 1 Samuel chapter 11. About a month later, Nahash the Ammonite and his army surrounded Jabesh Gilead. All the people of Jabesh said to Nahash, "If you will make a treaty with us, we will serve you." But he answered,
I will make a treaty with you, only if I can poke out the right eye of each person. Then all Israel will be ashamed.
The leaders of Jabesh said to Nahash, "Let us have 7 days. We will send messengers through all Israel. If no one comes to help us, we will surrender to you." The messengers came to Gibeah where Saul lived. When they told the news to the people cried loudly. Saul had been out in the field with his oxen. When he came in from the field, he heard the people crying and asked,
What's wrong with the people? Why are they crying?
And the people told Saul what the messengers from Jabesh had said. After Saul listened to their story, God's Spirit came on him with great power, and he became very angry. He took a pair of oxen and cut them into pieces. Then he gave the pieces of the oxen to messengers. He ordered them to carry the pieces throughout the land of Israel. He told them to give this message to the Israelites.
Come and follow Saul and Samuel. If anyone doesn't come and help them, this same thing will happen to his oxen.
A great fear from the Lord came on the people, so they all came together like one person. Saul gathered the men together at Bezek. There were 300,000 men from Israel and 30,000 men from Judah. Saul and his army told the messengers from Jabesh,
Tell the people at Jabesh and Gilead that by noon tomorrow you will be saved.
The messengers told this message to the people at Jabesh, and they were very happy. Then the people of Jabesh said to Nahash the Ammonite, "Tomorrow we will come to you, and you can do whatever you want to us." The next morning, Saul separated his soldiers into 3 groups. At sunrise, Saul and his soldiers entered the Ammonite camp. Saul attacked while they were changing guards that morning. He and his soldiers defeated the Ammonites before noon. The Ammonite soldiers all ran away in different directions. No 2 soldiers stayed together. Then the people said to Samuel,
Where are the people who said they didn't want Samuel to rule as king? Bring them here, and we will kill them.
But Saul said, "No, don't kill anyone today. The Lord saved Israel today." Then Samuel said to the people, "Come, let's go to Gilgal. At Gilgal, we will have a ceremony to set up the new kingdom." All the people went to Gilgal. There, in front of the Lord, the people made Saul king. They offered fellowship offerings to the Lord. Saul and all the Israelites had a great celebration. 1 Samuel chapter 12. Samuel speaks about the king. Samuel said to all Israel,
I have done everything you wanted me to do. I have put a king over you. Now, you have a king to lead you. I am old and gray, but my sons are here with you. I have been your leader since I was young. Here I am. If I have done anything wrong, you can let the Lord and his chosen king hear your complaints. Did I steal anyone's ox or donkey? Did I hurt or cheat anyone? Did I ever accept money to make an unfair decision? If I did any of these things, I will make it right.
The Israelites answered,
No, you never did anything bad to us. You never cheated us or took things from us.
Samuel said to the Israelites,
The Lord and his chosen king are witnesses today. They heard what you said, that you found nothing wrong with me.
The people answered,
Yes, the Lord is witness.
Then Samuel said to the people,
The Lord has seen what happened. He is the one who chose Moses and Aaron and brought your ancestors out of Egypt. So now, you take your place, and I will present my arguments against you before the Lord. I will tell about all the great things the Lord has done to save you and your ancestors. Jacob went to Egypt, and later the Egyptians made life hard for his descendants. So they cried to the Lord for help. The Lord sent Moses and Aaron, and they took your ancestors out of Egypt and led them to live in this place. But your ancestors forgot the Lord their God, so he let them become the slaves of Sisera, the commander of the army at Hazor. Then the Lord let them become slaves of the Philistines and the king of Moab. They all fought against your ancestors, but your ancestors cried to the Lord for help. They said, We have sinned. We left the Lord, and we served false gods, Baal and Ashtoreth. But now save us from our enemies, and we will serve you. So the Lord sent Gideon, Barak, Jephthah, and Samuel. He saved you from your enemies around you, and you lived in safety. But then you saw King Nahash of the Ammonites coming to fight against you. That's when you decided it was not enough for the Lord your God to be your king. You said, No, we want a king to rule over us. Now, here is the king you chose. The Lord put him over you as king. You must fear and respect the Lord. You must serve him and obey his commands. You must not turn against him. You and the king ruling over you must follow the Lord your God. If you do, God will save you. But if you don't listen to the Lord, if you refuse to do what the Lord says, he will be against you. The Lord will destroy you and your king. Now stand still and see with your own eyes the great thing the Lord will do. Now is the time of the wheat harvest. You know it never rains during this time. But I will pray to the Lord and ask him to send thunder and rain. When this happens, you will know you did a very bad thing against the Lord when you asked for a king.
So Samuel prayed to the Lord. That same day the Lord sent thunder and rain, and the people became very afraid of the Lord and Samuel. All the people said to Samuel, Pray to the Lord your God for us, your servants. Don't let us die. We have sinned many times, and now we have added to these sins. We asked for a king. Samuel answered,
Don't be afraid. It is true that you did all these bad things, but don't stop following the Lord. Serve the Lord with all your heart. Idols are only statues, so don't worship them. Idols can't help you or save you. They are nothing. But the Lord won't leave his people. No, the Lord was pleased to make you his own people. So for his own good name, he won't leave you. And as far as me, I will never stop praying for you. If I did, I would be sinning against the Lord. I will continue to teach you the right way to live a good life. You must honor the Lord. You must serve him sincerely, with all your heart. Remember the wonderful things he has done for you. But if you continue to do evil, the Lord will throw you and your king out like dirt swept out with a broom.
John chapter 12, verse 37 to chapter 13, verse 17. Some people refused to believe in Jesus. The people saw all these miraculous signs Jesus did, but they still did not believe in him. This was to give full meaning to what Isaiah the prophet said. Lord, who believed what we told them? Who has seen the Lord's power? This is why the people could not believe, because Isaiah also said, God made the people blind. He closed their minds. He did this so that they would not see with their eyes and understand with their minds. If they understood, he said, they might turn to me and I would heal them. Isaiah said this because he saw Jesus' divine greatness, so he spoke about him. But many people believed in Jesus. Even many of the Jewish leaders believed in him. But they were afraid of the Pharisees, so they did not say openly that they believed. They were afraid they would be ordered to stay out of the synagogue. They loved praise from people more than praise from God. Jesus made this bold announcement. Everyone who believes in me really believes in the one who sent me. Everyone who sees me really sees the one who sent me. I came into this world as a light. I came so that everyone who believes in me will not stay in darkness. I did not come into the world to judge people. I came to save them. So I am not the one who judges those who hear my teaching and do not obey. But there is a judge for all those who refuse to believe in me and do not accept what I say. The message I have spoken will judge them on the last day. That is because what I taught was not from myself. The Father who sent me told me what to say. Every word I speak is from him. And I know that whatever he says to do will bring eternal life. So the things I say are exactly what the Father has told me to say. It was almost time for the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world and go back to the Father. Jesus had always loved the people in the world who were his. Now was the time he showed them his love the most. Jesus and his followers were at the evening meal. The devil had already persuaded Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to hand Jesus over to his enemies. The Father had given Jesus power over everything. Jesus knew this. He also knew that he had come from God, and he knew that he was going back to God. So while they were eating, Jesus stood up and took off his robe. He got a towel and wrapped it around his waist. Then he poured water into a bowl and began to wash the followers' feet. He dried their feet with the towel that was wrapped around his waist. He came to Simon Peter, but Peter said to him,
Lord, why would you wash my feet?
Jesus answered, You don't know what I am doing now, but later you will understand. Peter said,
No, you will never wash my feet.
Jesus answered, If I don't wash your feet, you are not one of my people. Simon Peter said,
Lord, after you wash my feet, wash my hands and my head too.
Jesus said, After a person has had a bath, his whole body is clean. He needs only to wash his feet, and you are clean, but not all of you. Jesus knew who would hand him over to his enemies. That is why he said, Not all of you are clean. When Jesus had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and went back to the table. He asked, Do you understand what I have just done for you? You call me teacher, you call me Lord, and this is right because that is what I am. I am your Lord and teacher, but I washed your feet like a servant, so you also should wash each other's feet. I did this as an example for you, so you should serve each other just as I served you. Believe me, slaves are not better than their master. Those who are sent to do something are not greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, great blessings will be yours if you do them. Psalms chapter 66, verses 1 through 12. For the music director, a song, a psalm. Everything on earth, shout with joy to God. Praise his glorious name. Honor him with songs of praise. Tell God, your works are wonderful. Your great power makes your enemies bow down in fear before you. Let the whole world worship you. Let everyone sing praises to your name. Salah. Look at what God has done. These things amaze us. He changed the sea to dry land, and his people went across the water on foot. So let's celebrate because of what he has done. He rules forever with his great power. He watches the nations everywhere, so no one can rebel against him. Salah. You people, praise our God. Sing loud songs of praise to him. He continues to give us life, and he keeps us from falling. God, you have tested us the way people test silver with fire. You let us be trapped. You put heavy burdens on us. You let our enemies run over us. We went through fire and water, but you brought us to a safe place. Thank you, everyone. That was day 142. Join us for day 143. Continuing in 1 Samuel. Saul causes trouble for Israel. Then there's a battle against the Philistines at Michmash. And entering the scene is Saul's son, Jonathan, who helps lead the charge straight into the heart of danger. And in the New Testament, Jesus is speaking to his disciples and reveals to them that there is a betrayer in their midst. They don't want to believe it. And in fact, there's not just one, but two people who will betray him in the final hours of Jesus' life. And those names are revealed in the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.